yeah, sure, that will make you happy. That will make you happy.
Changes since I left, and I have to say that the one major change that I'm not a fan of is the undisputed era dispersing in the manner that it did. It doesn't feel right.
Good things come to an end. I don't know. I mean, he made the call. Mr. Bebe made the call. You know what I mean?
It was a good call.
Yeah,
it was a good call. I mean, I know a lot of people don't agree, Kathy. I know you don't agree either. But at least for me, it was a great call. Especially with a guy like I know you like him, but Kyle O'Reilly drives me a little bit insane.
Oh my God.
That's also arguable.
Oh, wow.
Kathy, I'm so excited to see you and talk to you. Can you not say stuff like that, please?
Ari, I take it back. Your hair is beautiful.
Yes! He's got the beautiful hair.
Go up against the supernatural in any way, shape, or form? If so, how did you prepare, if at all? Because again, I'm not sure you can prepare for such a thing.
I'm not sure you can prepare for such a thing.
I can't think of a specific time where I dealt with something anything close to what Alexa is bringing to the table right now. But again, just based off my 13-year experience in the industry,
hey Keith, how you doing? Thanks for joining the live stream.
And I don't think it's going to start now. That's kind of what I'm getting at. It's just impossible. It's impossible.
Yeah, I mean, Kathy, you made a deal with the boogeyman once. I don't know if that's quite the same thing. But did you ever have to experience anything even close to what Alexa has been putting Shayna on his throat?
No, definitely not the same caliber or level that what Shayna's going through. I mean, it's gotten to the point where it's not just what Lily is capable of or what Alexa's capable of. It's the psychology behind it. And we could see the other week, Shayna was scared.
Right, yeah.
Like top notch. A confident woman, and she was scared.
I was thinking that this week, Kathy, because you were talking to Shayna during her absolute peak in NXT, when she was NXT Women's Champion. Was she ever shaken before that you can remember in NXT?
Homegirl was doing
Kofi Kingston. Yeah, send the Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston.
That is the level of confidence that she carried into a match. She knew she could just stare at someone and their knees would go weak, and not in a good way. You were just weak of terror, the absolute terror that you knew you were going to endure going up against her. Even a couple times when I've had the interview backstage, the mic's shaking. She's an intimidating woman.
Kathy is telling the 100% truth, by the way.
Oh, wow. Ah, you missed.
Her confidence level was on another level.
Gosh, not such a... Should have waited.
Right now, guys, quickly. We got an quick what do you guys say? Universe, what's saying? You think they're going to be with Alexa?
Gosh, God. Something was caught.
Something happened there. I think all of a sudden, Shayna's eyes were acting off and out. And Reginald can't look at her.
I know it's true, but Kathy, I think you made a really good point right when we brought you on, because for as much as Shayna has been shaken, understandably, by everything that Alexa's done, she still looks incredibly confident here. We were talking to Jimmy Smith this afternoon on the bus, and what he said so far is what Shayna's doing. And Adam, I know you'll agree with this too. Shayna can only control so much in this situation. We literally don't know what Alexa's capable of. She might be capable of anything, but so far, she's wrestling her match, and that's all she can do.
Dang it.
Laughing through the pain right now, though.
This always gets me, like every single time.
Yeah, because I was just going to say as well, like even watching Shayna, she has signs of like normal Shayna, like right now.
Third break.
Focused,
Nuts.
Tear Alexa apart. But then you've seen like 2 or 3 times already, Shayna look like she's unsure. Yeah. Already. And that is incredibly rare.
Here we go, baby.
Elbow jointed, man. Elbow jointed. We have seen Alexa get out of a lot because of that, but this also...
Time for a comeback. Come on, Kofi, let's go.
Shayna almost looks like she's on the defensive, even though she's got the hold in. Like,
If Shayna can keep this on the ground the whole time, then it's her.
Ah, Nazi jump.
It's her match.
I tend to agree with that. But, Kathy, you're right. Shayna looks incredibly unsure, even on offense right now.
I mean, the fact that she has her in a position where she can snap.
I counter. Oh, nuts. Ah.
Second is very indicative of the type of competitor that Shayna is, but
That's not a normal thing.
Not a normal thing. No, it's not. No.
Okay, that hurt, though. Not laughing now.
I was just going to say, Alexa's not laughing about that either.
That seemed like a nervous laughter out there. Sorry, Kathy.
No, I was just gonna say Alexa Bliss, years ago was a very pleasant girl, and now she kind of looks like the girl from the ring who is going through teenage years. It's awesome.
Shout out to the ring.
Chucky jerked my form, but those were not fun. They stuck with me. All the wrong ways.
Right.
Shayna keeps shaking something off. I noticed it too, Matt. And again,
Like, you can't look at Alexa.
I don't. Shayna, in theory, is on offense. I know that's an oversimplification of things, but
Look at this.
I've never seen anything quite like this.
It's something about looking at her.
She is stowing her head. It's crazy.
What? This just turned.
Adam, I would never disagree with you. I think you're right, but I also think it might be something even more than that. She might literally be in her head. Like, it's like.
Oh, boy.
It could be. And again, how do you beat that?
Oh my God. Whoa.
I was slick.
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean,
You're gonna need more than that to beat Shayna.
yeah.
Demonic DDT right there.
Is that that's just like a tip?
I don't know what's
Demonic temper tantrum as well.
I mean, Kathy, it's at least something to say that Shayna's getting her frustrated because a few minutes ago Shayna was on offense and Alexa was laughing. That's at least somewhat of an opening. Although again, I don't know, Alexa does magic, so maybe that's what matters.
No. Oh, dang it.
We've seen from Alexa Bliss, she constantly throws mini temper tantrums. So I don't think any more frustrated than we've seen her in the last few weeks. But it is something to say. We saw Shayna slightly scared, and now we're seeing her. If Alexa really is in her mind that she's indefensible, like that's, your mind is the only thing you have. Curious to see Nia out there though.
Wait, okay, so she's controlling.
People's elbow. Come on.
Wait a minute.
She can make her do stuff. This is a whole different match.
Oh, that was kind of cool. You can stop this. You can stop this.
Woo. Perfect timing too.
Oh, shot to the throat. Right to the throat. That's a great equalizer.
This is bad news.
Yeah, no way.
Shayna's moving, which is. Nia has no idea what
It's
happened.
not.
And you know what? Neither do
Okay,
I.
so he's out of it.
Oh no.
It might be eye contact, Adam and Kathy. It's hard to say.
If Alexa Bliss.
No! Well, how do you defend that, Adam?
You can't. You can't. It's literally impossible. When someone figures out how to prevent mind reading, let me know.
Mind reading just let me know.
This is long board school witchcraft and wizards.
There was no tough enough episode about how to read mind reading.
Very smart.
Kathy's literally a genius, yes, but
Or oversized headphones. I think you're on
Magneto, shades of Magneto.
Maybe it's something that blocks the eyesight. Maybe it's that.
Shades of Magneto, baby.
Cover the eyes. I don't know. Sunglasses. Cover the eyes.
It must be the sunglasses. I can agree.
Well, I don't know.
people have wrestled those before. I don't know.
That's the way to do it.
Okay, big group.
Okay.
Well, I don't know what we just saw, but I'm glad we saw it together.
Guys, I really appreciate y'all. Adam Cole, baby. It's been an honor, brother. I
miss you. Hope everything's going well.
Thank you.
And remember,
Good to see you.
Oh, beautiful hair, baby!
Beautiful hair by Aaron Paul. Oh my gosh.
Mr. Bang Bang getting loose. This Captain Kelly, it's been an honor. Thank you, my dear. Appreciate you.
Gotta go, Kathy. Thank you.
Use that hashtag. I'm calling beautiful hair, baby.
There it is.
I don't know what to say.
Well,
I don't.
Analysis from the people who watch all the time.
I don't know what to say.
when you use magic, man, things are.
I mean, listen.
How do you know if it's magic?
That's actually a good point, though, because we've seen various degrees of supernatural activity. Undertaker and Kane, the Fiend, and this was different. I don't know.
You did this, and then I did this.
I mean,
You did this, and she smacked this.
I mean, you can learn how to hypnotize people. See, you know what the scariest thought is?
He just got hit with a spear.
Natural abilities and just the ability to hypnotize people. I don't know.
Good luck anyone.
Yeah, I don't know what to say.
Good luck anyone who makes the legislature or rep or anything. Because Shayna got taken out of her game, which does not happen.
It does not.
She didn't know what to do.
No, I mean,
Shayna Baszler didn't know what to do.
Shayna's credit.
in a squared
To
circle.
Shayna's credit, Kathy mentioned it, and it was definitely, at the beginning, Shayna was as confident as she could be given the circumstances, but there's nothing you can do in that situation. I don't think, if there is, we haven't figured it out yet. I don't know anything about my life.
Testament to this wonderful company. Up for ESPY Award, Best WWE Moment, voting over now. And ESPY's testament to how far this company's come as far as these.
What bottom? Crap! He caught me with a spear immediately.
No, you can't. You can't. Shout out to the SB. Shout out to WWE on the part of it.
Already choices.
It was going to be really awesome. Man, listen, Bad Bunny got my phone, man. He was spectacular. Oh my goodness, I'm thinking I'm running my mouth, man. We got a spectacular guest coming up, man. We got a deity coming on the show. We got a little wrestling guy coming on this program. We got the great JBL on the program, man. What's going on?
Yeah!
Mr. JBL, thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate you joining us, sir.
The spear got me.
First started as the Acolytes, we're going to use a little voodoo from last night's book. Maybe Marie Laveau, a little Necronomicon coming in.
Danielle, you're the perfect person to bring on after that match because you had your battles with The Undertaker. You were also part of the ministry. How do you combat what Alexa just did? Did you ever figure that out with Taker?
Hell no, I didn't figure it out. I didn't work about the wrestling generals against the Globetrotters. Are you kidding me? I don't think you could. It's an escape from the Undertaker.
To be fair, you remained champion, so you did escape somewhat. I guess that's the best way to put it.
Beautiful finish. 1, 2.
Shot down there, and we're part of the Acolytes at that point. So all together, there's our guy.
So, JBL, just to clarify, then we'll talk about this match. It's like when you're learning, it's not learning how to fall, running the ropes, and then mind control, right? That's not the order of things.
It depends on where you are on the spectrum. I'm not sure what I think maybe a little Undertaker had that mind control.
Oh, little bit.
Yes. But a little Undertaker, little Kane all had that mind control. Then the fire happened, and next thing you know, somebody gets burned alive.
Somebody gets burned alive.
Here and the father. It's a great story.
Yeah, fair enough. Thanks for the clarification.
All right.
JBL, sir, and all you infinite wisdom, we want you on to talk about this next match coming up. We got Kevin Owens, we have Sami Zayn, sir. What are your thoughts? Who you got? Give me a little bit of your knowledge.
I have not met all 8 billion people on the planet, but I think if I had, Sami Zayn would be the most annoying.
Out of all 8 billion?
Billionaires, I don't rate half billion, whatever it's that. All of them have got to be more normal than Sami Zayn.
Oh,
Look, Sami Zayn's got a ton of talent.
Yes.
He is right about the fact that he lost his Intercontinental Championship. He never got the right to hold on to it. But I think Commander Aziz makes the difference here. Kevin Owens is talented as well, but Commander Aziz, I think, is the deciding factor. I'm going with Sami Zayn here.
Sami
I just
Zayn,
don't have to talk to him, have a beer with him, or talk with him. I don't ever have to talk to him.
We throw it out to the universe. We got JBL's take. What do you the WWE universe? First take, hashtag KO wins, hashtag Sammy wins. Let me get your thoughts, universe.
I'm interested to see what this
as
Well,
well.
my thoughts is Kevin Owens will
The
win.
universe has been all over the map since this afternoon. But JBL, as we get going here in the early going, these two have collided so many times, countless times. They probably don't know how many. I think of guys that you had many matches with, whether it be Undertaker, Eddie, the guys that you wrestle all the time. And obviously, there's many I'm not listing. How does that change things going into another match with that person? When you know the counters for counters for counters, is there prep left to do? How do you approach a match like that against someone you know so well?
Yeah, you try to find a new wrinkle is what you try to find. Like you see that in a lot of sports, like baseball, like basketball, guys play each other all the time in the same division. You just try to find a new wrinkle. You kind of put that in the back.
Just do this real quick.
To bring that out, had that with Eddie Guerrero, had that with Undertaker. Russell learned there probably 200 or 300 times in my career, and I was always trying to figure out some different way and some way to surprise him somewhere in that match. That's what you have to do because everything else, these guys know each other extremely well.
Was there anybody like this, though, where, like, you felt you couldn't get away from him? It feels like, I know Kevin and Sammy go back, and this rivalry goes before WWE. It's happened everywhere, and we're back here where we were a couple of months ago at WrestleMania. But was there anybody like that? You're like, I just got to get away from this person, and I can't.
Yeah, Rey Mysterio. He's our little cockroach. You can't get rid of it. He kept retiring me, and he kept retiring me. And finally, I just see, oh, you know what? I'm not coming back.
I'm done. I'm done.
Twice. And to this day, I don't like him. I can't even dress with him because when I dress with him, I just feel like I'm quitting the business again. I don't even want around him.
So you liked what happened that Friday night, though, is what you're telling us then, I guess.
I loved every second of it. Absolutely.
He was at his popcorn. He was like, hey, you shouldn't be laughing, but that's great.
Being a Texan, I root for any team that is from Oklahoma. So like when Oklahoma State plays OU, I hope they both lose somehow. And being a professional wrestler who lost to Rey Mysterio in 2 retirement matches, one I just quit after, I root against Rey every single day.
That's also a level of respect as well. I can tell that. I get that.
Absolutely.
It is a level of respect. Rey's one of the most talented guys I've ever seen. And, there's a lot of respect and honor I had for him coming out of Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero loved Rey. Very good reason. And Rey to me is one of the most talented guys. I've never seen, I wrestle against Bill Masters. I've never seen anybody who wears a mask that is more expressive and get more over than Rey Mysterio. By far. It's not even close.
That's probably one of my favorite things about you, though, JBL. You wrestled the 2 greatest matches of all time in different eras. You know what I mean? I just think that's a really cool thing.
Yeah, it really is.
Or it's just that I'm old.
I'm old.
Experience with a heck of a resume.
I was a heavyweight champion, and I'm beating all that serious and over.
That's what I'm talking about. Great, strong, Hall of Fame resume. That's why you're a wrestling guy.
This man is seasoned. You're seasoned. You know what I'm saying?
Caesar, you know.
I dug you out of there. Put yourself right back in the hole.
JBL, Evan he came off earlier today, and now he's calling you seasoned.
Maybe he wants to beat me up, man. I'm like staying in this studio for like henceforth.
He has not done well against Texas.
Yeah, give a neck breaker.
Listen, WWE Universe guys, I want y'all to listen. Hit the Hell in a Cell. They're streaming exclusively on Peacock, guys. It is on right now. Watch Hell in a Cell live right now. We got Sami Zayn, we got KO. It's a spectacular feast. Oh no, Jimmy,
I want Kevin Owens to win.
think of the first match, Miss Bianca and Bayley. Quick thoughts on that.
I thought it was fantastic. I thought both matches, first 2 matches were pretty well. You watched the Alexa Bliss match, but I thought the Seth and Cesaro match was phenomenal.
Absolutely.
You really get guys like that. You get that guy every 5 or 10 years. I mean, 2 guys who just have God-gifted athletic ability and just seemingly unlimited potential. And that's what those 2 guys are. And when you have that, and they're in the prime of their career like those 2 guys are, you have matches like that. That was a pleasure to watch.
I couldn't agree more, Xavier.
My gosh, with the cannonball.
You might not like Sami's actions, but we can't deny that whether the WWE Universe likes him or not, he's effective, especially right now. I want to flip that to Kevin Owens, because at times you were adored by the WWE Universe, and you were probably at your best when they hated you. Do you think that KO kind of embracing the universe over these last several years has been effective for him? Or do you think that Sami's doing it right now by not caring at all?
They hated me.
Your words, not mine.
JBL.
Who doesn't like
Hey,
season
look,
meat?
I still remember. Listen, I still remember that entrance you made on Monday Night Raw. That beautiful entrance with all that pyro. It took 15 minutes of just a thing of beauty.
JB, you from down south. Who likes seasoned meat, man?
Oh,
Come on, Evan, please. Evan, please.
Killing meat's a good meat to compliment.
I'm trying.
A compliment. Seasoned meat is what you just told me.
I'm sorry.
Oh my
I
God.
didn't know the universe. And by the way, your stupid poll you put up is
Well, you put up.
But you had a couple guys who were real smartasses that I don't see anybody. I was like, below that.
Don't bother with that, Jake.
It's all because you guys are biasing the universe by saying it's about being fair. I was adored by the WWE universe. Adored. I know damn seasoned meat. Seasoned meat. What am I from, like Ontario, Canada?
I'm just saying you could appreciate seasoned meat for being from the south. My dad's from Mobile. He likes his meat seasoned.
He likes the meat.
Well, heck of a match in the ring here.
JBL, please, I don't want to listen to that.
Speaking of Canada, let's get back in the ring here.
Two great Canadians.
If I ever see you backstage, JBL, I'm running, man.
You're gonna run from a lot of people today. JBL, let's get back to the match here. With Kevin Owens, we saw him ask for this match after Friday night when he was put down by the Nigerian nail, acting out of emotion. Do you think that's almost a mistake from Kevin, where he's putting himself against somebody who knows him so well, coming in at less than 100%?
Yeah, absolutely. When your face is slammed like this, and this is a call set for these two guys. This is crazy. And they're both incredible athletes, both incredible wrestlers. You've got a weakness coming in. Last thing you want to do is call that person out that point. And let Commander Aziz.
Oh, sorry, JBL.
Makes it. Holy
Sorry.
cow.
Yeah, that was big.
Wow.
I apologize, JBL. Sorry.
It's like a glide path on a sofa. Yes.
Oh,
My goodness.
JBL, just real quick, because Matt brought up the Nigerian nail. You were commentating when Umaga was just on an absolute tear, and the Samoan spike was at its peak. You saw it firsthand, up close and personal. I'm sure you talked to guys who have felt moves like that or similar. We saw how Kevin Owens was on Friday night, and the last two times he's taken it. He's competing at a high level right now, but that probably takes a long time to recover from something like that, yeah?
Yeah, it does. Don't forget Terry Van Van Gordon used it as well.
Kinshasa!
Same thing. It's like anything. You get an injury, you get out there, you feel great, you got a little hype, you got a little energy going through you. It starts to wear on you later in the night.
Yeah, JBL does have a good point.
Start wearing down on Kevin Owens. And Sami Zayn needs to know that, and I'm sure he does. You just got to weather that first emotional storm and just wait. It's like a great team playing a team that's got some type of injury. They'll come out, they'll play their ass off. Just wait. Buy time, and that's what Sami Zayn's doing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, talking about results in this poll that JBL loves so much. I'm going to throw it to
He's not in this one. Just to be known.
Hashtag Owens. Hashtag Sami Zayn.
82%. Oh, I get that, but as I watch the match right now, it's been a lot of Samuel O'Keefe's fighting back. But he's fighting like a wounded animal, though, it looks like right now.
I think that's people voting with their heart over this and praying.
I'm nuts. I'm about to lose. There we go. Go for the comeback. Yes. Beautiful.
I don't think I ever saw Stone Cold get reversed that way, but that just happened to KO.
Well, Stone Cold had wrestled The Rock, 300 times. That's Sami Zayn. That's not what KO.
Uh-oh.
That's one of the things that's so great about this. The guys know each other so well. You have very physical matches and very good matches because you see reversal
That really was a good stunner.
Well, what do you do here? Does Kevin want to just roll back in and maybe get the count out? I don't think that's his MO. I don't think he would do it that way.
Win's a win, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, you and I are cowards. I'm getting however I can get it.
Jamie on the roll back in.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Smart man, a win.
It's a smart move. It's a win.
Okay, I'll let you guys go with that.
I'll get beat up.
Get beat up.
MVP and JBL are friendly. I know that. If they start talking to each other after this, you are in deep trouble.
Two of my favorites of all time.
Well, you haven't turned out a swing this afternoon and this evening, my friend.
Swear to God, JBL's my guy, man. He's my guy.
I'm your guy, the seasoned meat.
Yeah.
This is this rivalry in a nutshell right now. Fire and bombs.
JBL, from your perspective, and right fun, but this feels like third gear, right? When you were in there, are you mindful that it's for us as the audience, we can see when it's hitting third gear. We're not in there, we're not in the thick of it.
Oh my gosh, pedigree.
Are you mindful of when it's revving up to that next level, even when you've probably already revved up a few times already?
Absolutely, it's the greatest feeling in the world. They used to say about knowing when we're in the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th inning, that Ryan Express, and you just feel the zone. That's when you get there, you know you're there. You don't always get there, and when you do, you know you're in the zone. Man, it's the greatest feeling in the world. That's what these guys are in right now. They're just speaking. They're getting that.
It's gonna take a little bit of that, Val.
Absolutely. Sometimes it doesn't. You don't have to get there, but there's the haluva kick. That might be
Bam!
Sammy Many match.
Whoa! Nice.
If you believed it, though.
I believe, JBL, as you've learned tonight, I'm a buffoon, but I kind of called that earlier, so
That's a great win for Sammy. This was a coin flip to me. Kevin Owens coming here on a coffee ship again. He's a proud guy, he's a tough guy. And he does do it, and you kind of expect that Sammy Dave's going to walk out there and get the
Oh my god! Oh jeez!
JBL, Sammy's like physically emotional. Yeah,
The feel of that move.
JBL, we talked about this earlier with Seth and Cesaro. Sammy was on the losing end at WrestleMania. From your point of view, I think that's part of the emotion right now. Lost at WrestleMania, that's huge. I mean, he really wanted this tonight. I think that's what we're seeing right now out of him, yeah.
Yeah, you can't ever get back the loss in WrestleMania. That's a big deal. That's something that will live in forever. Go back in time, and people start counting up your WrestleMania matches. Not to diminish any other pay-per-views. This is a huge win. WrestleMania, there's something special about WrestleMania. That's where stars are really made.
This is getting intense.
And losing
Yeah, they got him. Yes.
That's going to sit with Sami Zayn forever. This, though, gets you back some.
Yeah,
This feels good.
Unfortunately, JBL, to your point earlier, he is going to be more insufferable than ever with this.
You think?
Yep.
Probably not going to be good for anybody other than Sammy.
Oh no! Oh no, that's not good. Oh, pedigree. Oh, of course.
I mean, the worst thing in the world you want is somebody that nobody cares about. Sami Zayn is annoying as a human being. You gotta watch it. You gotta watch when he comes out. The stuff he does is just compelling television. Last year at WrestleMania, after all the matches, I think I called Sami. I'm not sure, but I was in the arena when it happened, and just hearing him cry. Daniel Bryan was king of a year ago. Unbelievable. Who in the world does something like that? It's the best makings of a star right there. I mean, I give Sami Zayn a lot of help for being insufferable and he is. That's a guy that you want to watch. That's just Kevin Owens.
Absolutely.
Well said.
Yeah, that's true.
So I really appreciate the time, man. It was an
Roman
honor.
Reigns.
I really appreciate you. Wrestling God, Hall of Famer.
JBL, I just want to apologize for my transgression. I just want to
Bedtime for the old man, the season meeting.
for the record.
He owes you a nice dinner. A very nice dinner.
You guys are great. I love you guys. You guys have a lot of fun.
It's down a mud hole. Rock and dry.
You guys enjoy your guys. Keep on.
Thank you, JBL. We appreciate it.
Thank you so
I
much.
do apologize again, though, but thank you.
Forgive
Gino!
Clothesline rail cover right shoulder.
You got through it. You won't get through it when you see it, but you got through it this time. That's a big one for Samuel.
Watch it. I see you.
Yeah, I mean,
Ah! Powerbomb! Oh my god, okay.
so you talk about so much having the counters for counters, and that's true, and that plays a part. But sometimes still you got to stick up right into things, And so it's like you can't shy away from what you know has worked against others, and especially worked against the person who's been in there with 1,000 times. So congrats to Sami Zayn. You might find him annoying, but you can't poke any holes in that victory.
Just like JBL said, though, he said KO came in hurt. He said he shouldn't have took the match. But he took the match.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of seen it happening.
This has happened a couple of times now with KO where he has been thinking with his heart instead of his head. Comes out the wrong end of a brawl or something like that on SmackDown. It goes right into Adam Pearce, goes right into Sonya. Give me the match. He did that on Friday. Then he did it against probably the worst possible person he could have done it against. And Sammy said it earlier on kickoff. He knew Kevin was coming in at less than 100%.
I don't have him yet.
If we had a little more time with JBL, I would have loved to ask him, and we know KO won't do this, but should KO consider? He looked in rough shape at the end of that. It was definitely the effects of this match, but also the Nigerian nail. I think he might need to step back for just a little bit. I'm not saying for long. I know he won't. But the effects of what he's gone through these last several weeks, and tonight, are very clear. I just think it's something you should think about, although I know he won't.
The only way that'll happen is if medical says you are not allowed to compete.
Yeah.
That's the only
But
way
you
it's
saw,
going to happen.
it was not just the Hallelujah. It was not just the Hallelujah there. It was definitely what he took on Friday a couple weeks ago. Everything combined.
He's been through it with winners. He's been through it with the Intercontinental Champion.
I'm going to say Apollo factors into that too.
Away with Big E. I mean, he's been through a lot. And he got in there with his greatest rival. And tonight, Sammy gets a rare win over Kevin Owens.
Get some great sentiment across the board from a lot of people on Twitter. Just saying what they can score, Kevin Owens. It's all about sentiment, about paper matches. Look at Sami Zayn,
As always.
just so much love coming.
That's a prerequisite. You know that's going to happen.
If this happens in a year, and it's been on the day, if it happens in 5, it's always going to be like this.
I would like to point out that Adam Cole tweeted out his own hashtag on Twitter after he left. That man is great.
I mean, if it wasn't trending before, which it probably was.
His own hashtag is incredible.
If I had one, I would do it too. But it's Adam Cole. Adam Cole could do some. He's in a very good mood considering this Tuesday, Eastern USA. He's got to pick his opponent. We don't know who that will be. Kyle O'Reilly has to pick a long-time opponent in Kushida. We asked him about that a few weeks ago on WWE's The Problem. Very excited for that match because there's plenty of history there. But Adam Cole in a good mood. We'll see if that's any different.
A lot coming on this way. Big American Bash too.
We still got loads and loads of stuff going on Hell in a Cell, guys. Exclusively streaming on Peacock. Watch Hell in a Cell live right now. It is a lot of things right now. You tune in right now. You see nice B-roll, Roman Reigns running amok, baby. Who acknowledge this man?
Acknowledge it.
Hell in a Cell match on SmackDown. I think it lived up to all expectations. I wasn't surprised at the result because I use this hashtag. Hashtag not end still, end forever. Because that is what should be used when it comes to Roman Reigns and the Universal Championship. And I know Rey was fighting with his heart, defending Dominic after what
I like Keith Lee.
a heck of an effort. But Roman was too much. I think we talked to Jimmy Uso.
Different type of Jimmy Uso.
Always, even since he's come back, even all the stuff with Roman, he's been in a good mood. Has he agreed with Roman or anything? He's happy to be back. But the man we talked to today, after what happened on Friday, I think he was trying to do the right thing for the family, and he doesn't know if that's the right thing.
Yeah, he was conflicted. I'm sure you felt the same, Ev.
It's the thing about the Roman that we're getting, man. And I guess there was something put out between someone asked about the great John Cena and the great Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and he came out and was like, "Listen, they better stay on set. Keep them on set. They're not ready. They're like." He's on such another level, though. He talking about 2 all-time greats are not even to mess with him in this ring, and it's hard to argue with what this man's doing.
He was on ESPN Sports Nation saying that.
It's
out to the world.
Every man for himself.
Here's the thing.
I'm the head of the
And here's the thing,
table.
to the point about Jimmy, I am on record saying that I believe Roman Reigns will be Universal Champion forever. Define forever however you want, but that's my opinion. Yeah.
To the end of time.
I mean, define it however you want. But to that,
which is okay to do. 3 seconds is a victory. Ask Seth Rollins about that tonight. Cesaro may have been better, but Seth Rollins walked away with the dough. Roman Reigns, you know when you're in a battle with Roman Reigns because you're taking losses and you're taking pain and you're feeling it for days and weeks after. And that's the message he is trying to send. It's a dominant Reigns.
I will say, I hope both Mysterios are doing well. It's been a rough couple weeks, obviously.
He's do a lot.
We hope both are recovering okay.
Powerbomb both of them over the top.
Yeah, pretty much.
We wish them well, but we can't.
Next day, too.
As God is my witness, after when Ray tapped, my wife looked at me, she goes, who's beating, bro? That's what she said.
Well, I said, I don't
I will say this.
to my tweets and say Roman Reigns will be good for the
Genuinely like, who's beating me?
I will say this though. If I am anybody as part of the SmackDown Tag Team division, I'm kind of going, when are they coming back? Can I get that chance now? Can we wrestle them right now? Don't they have to defend these? I'd be asking right
Just
now.
a ring code right now if you're the Dirty Dogs.
The Dirty Dogs seem like the 2 men will be like, yeah, we'll go back. Let's have that match right now.
Interesting ring code, but yeah, I mean,
The
acknowledge.
dirty dog.
Acknowledge.
Dirty dog.
Acknowledge.
You better.
Acknowledge. Universe.
We're getting ready for this one coming up. And it's going to be me. And we talked to Charlotte earlier today. I don't use the phone. She's always ready because she's been here before. None of this is new to her. But this is a match that's also not new because last year at WrestleMania was Rhea Ripley defending the NXT Women's Championship against Charlotte. Charlotte won that match. And Charlotte's well aware that she won that match. And will continue to remind everybody she won that match. And Rhea said, oh, maybe lost that confidence. I don't believe that anymore. Rhea's got all that confidence back and then some as the Raw Women's Champion. She defeated Asuka. She has defeated Asuka multiple times. Charlotte would say that too. But tonight, we finally get them one-on-one. 2 alpha females at the absolute top of their game, and it got ugly this past week.
Cannot wait for this.
Charlotte Flair is the slow walk, shades of the great Ric Flair, but in her own bag.
Oh no.
Like champagne. Before I start gushing over Charlotte Flair, I'm gonna bring one of my favorite people of all time right now. It is the lovely Nikki Cross. What's going on?
Yay, Nikki Cross!
How are you?
How are you guys?
Good.
Very excited to watch this one with you. We're sure you're invested into it as well for many, many reasons.
I'm invested. I am excited. I am pumped. I cannot wait to see this match. And I'm very much excited to see who will be the Raw Women's Champion at the end of this night.
So speaking of that, Miss Cross, who is y'all?
You have Charlotte, 13-time Women's Champion, the Queen, Charlotte Flair. You have Rhea, who defeated Asuka at WrestleMania, the biggest. Rhea's been on a tear. I've been in the ring with both of these women recently, and if the record books will show that I've beaten both of them, just putting it out there. So for me, you know, let's put the money on Rhea Ripley.
Oh, nice! Nice! She best for Rhea Ripley to win. Nice.
So me too, like Charlotte has been like very good to me and very disrespectful and very just like to me. So you know that's another reason why I'm very much here. You know, Rhea at least showed me the respect after our match a few weeks ago. At least Rhea was kind of like, you know, I respect you, Nikki. Charlotte didn't give me any of that. The Queen gave me none of that. So that's why I'm going with Rhea too. A little bit of personal bias.
Oh no.
Nikki, we asked Charlotte about that earlier today on the bump, and I said, you know, Nikki's beaten you here more than once. And what happened there?
I'm gonna go for Rhea Ripley.
She said, well, I may have overlooked her. Does that feel like disrespect?
Well, maybe she's a man. Maybe she's a man. I'm glad you brought that up. And you were journalistic integrity, and I respect that. I respect that we're putting up, you know, and I'm glad that you told me that. And you know, I hope that Charlotte has learned to stop underestimating me. Like, don't overlook Nikki Cross just because I'm 5 foot. Don't underestimate Nikki Cross. It'll bite you in the butt every single time. So I'm glad that she's at least came forward and been like, oh, maybe I overlooked her. Well, you overlooked
come back here and start with us. So, I'm excited for this.
Oh, karma, baby.
Wait.
Oh, sorry.
Tell me I have a guess.
What? Wait, what's...
Your promotion along.
What is this?
Yes! Yes!
You know what? Physically, I've been
It's
better.
Sami Zayn!
Mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, I don't think I've ever been better. You let me ask you a question. No?
Get this person more.
I don't need anything. I just need you to answer one question.
Oh,
Do you believe in karma?
I do believe in karma.
Do you really believe in it? Or do you like believe in it in like an Instagram sort of way?
I believe that
I think
everything.
it'll happen to good people, not that kind of thing. Do you believe that there is a divinity
I
in this
believe.
consciousness? There's an order to all this madness.
I believe that everything happens for a reason. I do believe in karma, and what goes around comes around, baby.
See that?
So I
What goes wrong definitely comes around.
I'm like Nicky Berg, and oh my goodness.
There we go.
Stop. I mean, both of these women.
What are you talking about, bro?
The women's champion.
No, I understand. I'm watching Rhea and Charlotte here, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. Did you see my match?
I did. We got a couple of winners here to watch.
Wait a minute. Are these the guys from the bump?
Hey, Sammy, good to have you.
Yay!
Co-conspirators, corporate co-conspirators. How are you there?
Sammy, congratulations. I bet you did.
You voted against me, didn't you? No, I picked you, Sammy. I picked you. Yeah, I know you did. You're one of the good ones.
Thank you, Sammy.
I know.
Oh, jeez! Ah, DDT! Ah, dang it! I'm about to lose.
Sammy, congratulations on a huge victory tonight against Kevin Owens.
Get off me!
Listen, they made the graphic with KO, but I said they changed the graphic on me.
Sammy,
Those are more conspiracies to me.
Sammy, can I ask you a question real quick? Does this one get going? One thing on you. You were very emotional after the match. How vindicating
Ah, jeez!
How vindicating was it?
She took her face off.
The emotion that you saw wasn't just about winning and defeating Kevin Owens and retribution or revenge. That was enlightenment. That was the divine consciousness flowing through you, finally realizing that there's an order to all of this. We understand the conspiracy against me, which doesn't matter because I know I'm good and the universe will
There we go.
That's what that was.
Charlotte's got me in trouble right now.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Will take care of Rhea. She's a decent person.
Oh, big counter, big counter!
She says she is. She's not a lying two-faced hypocrite like most people in WWE, not you. If she's genuinely a decent person, I think I'm going to take care of her. As it took care of me tonight.
Hold on. So if karma's wrong, by your standards, I'm killing women. So you think like karma, I could be the Raw Women's Champion?
Hello.
Soon?
It's not for me to say, Nick.
It's up to the universe.
It's about the divine consciousness. And you just need to learn to trust it.
Yes, I'm trying. Thank you, Simon.
Mickey, have you felt that divine consciousness on your side over the last several weeks as these victories have started to pick up? Do you understand what Sammy's talking about here?
I do. I completely agree with Simon. Like the divine consciousness.
Can I just tell you how good that feels to hear for once? After the last 9 months, I've been talking, and nobody believed in anything I said. Now, all of a sudden, I believe in Sammy. I believe what Sammy's saying. I even got the corporate hacks on the bump apologizing. I got everybody saying, no, you're right. Don't worry about her. She'll be fine. She won't.
She won't. That's the thing. That's why we do the watch looks, because you never know.
I'm on a skate, so do you think that the divine consciousness? I'm like, I'm full of no second.
Nicky Bird, now I understand.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I mean, I'm very well at Goldberg.
Does it count since you lost so many matches before this streak?
No. It started new.
Restarts.
Fresh streak.
Nicky Bird, you want to take the win out of yourself, so I'm going to let you have your fun. Have your moment. Enjoy. Fast.
Look, Jack, I'm flying.
The universe is a beautiful place.
You
person she really is, quite frankly. I'm trying to say that wouldn't happen to a decent person. It just wouldn't.
I mean, she said I couldn't beat her in 2 minutes. I mean, I beat her in 2 minutes. And the same with Charlotte. She said I could beat her. Charlotte says she could beat me in 1 minute. No, I beat the clock.
Alright, I'm gonna switch to the Nintendo Switch. Just give me a moment.
And I beat Charlotte last Monday night on Raw. The guy can tell you.
On a roll. 2 minutes.
We are saying that I couldn't last 2 minutes on Raw. And I did last 2 minutes. And then Charlotte says I could beat you in 1 minute. But then the clock still shows 2 minutes.
No, quite frankly, when you're telling me this, it makes me not really want either of these people to do very well right now.
So then I should be wrong on this time.
Quite frankly, I'd rather see you in that ring. You can tell me, listen, let me tell you something. I see people for what they are, for who they are. That's why I'm calling out so many people who have been either part of the conspiracy against me or have been corporate propagandists. Because I see on a deeper level. You see what I mean? You understand?
Deep down. Deep down.
Feel your energy. And there is a genuine warmth about you. You deserve good things. And quite frankly, do these two deserve good things? When they're talking about you can't even last 2 minutes in the ring, you can't last 1 minute in the ring, what kind of person talks like that?
And these two are now kicking each other's butt.
Good.
Karma's getting them.
Now you're starting to see.
Beautiful, beautiful camera.
The divine consciousness. The DC.
You know, I don't think there's anything wrong, quite frankly, with us watching this and enjoying it.
Yeah.
Enjoying watching them go through hell and get kicked in the face and getting punched.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I don't know, listen, this doesn't make me a bad person. Sometimes it's fun to watch bad things happen to bad people. Right?
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I know it's not a politically expedient thing to say, but it's the truth. It's the truth.
So then if we
True that?
encourage these
There's
two
nothing
people,
true about that.
because of the mean things they've said to me, does that mean we're bad people? Then do we get a bad karma?
No.
Who got this out of it? We need to put a bad
Sammy's the expert, but I don't think that's how it works.
karma. You know? Divine consciousness. I don't want her coming after me.
It's a lot more complex than that. Once the cameras are off, this is a very, very deep philosophical conversation that, quite frankly, I don't think the gentlemen from the bump are really going to get.
No.
A lot of the WWE universe aren't really going to understand. We're talking about different existential planes and things of that nature.
Too many sprinklers.
It's a little sophisticated.
Too many sprinklers.
Going upstairs, not often. Missile.
Whoa, missile drop kick.
Kick that pole there.
Okay, sorry, go ahead, Evan.
WWE Universe, what do you guys think? Speaking of y'all.
We got poll results. What do they say?
Doesn't even matter, according to Sammy.
95%, Sam. That's gotta be some universal poll right there, Sammy.
Question, folks, your little poll there on the screen. What were the results of the poll between the match between Kevin and I? What was the result there?
58% earlier tonight thought
Who is coming?
Oh, wait a minute, hold on.
Sammy!
No, Sammy!
Did you have a fan poll? And the fans say,
Majority was for Kevin Owens.
I believe it might have been over 80%. I could be wrong.
They're gonna pull up the exact numbers, but
well, this is the truth. This is the truth. That is a direct proportion between the mindless conspiracy masses.
Talking about divine consciousness, she just said she was the wrong.
She got caught.
She got caught. That's bad karma.
You're
I
absolutely
think
natural selection almost got the job done.
That is karma. Sammy, we have the poll from earlier now.
Sammy, here's what it said
This
earlier.
is this afternoon's poll.
No, this is tonight's.
Yeah.
82%.
18.
Wow.
18%.
82%.
Proportion, in all honesty, if you walk down the street, that's about the exact proportion of decent people to just terrible, mindless, consumerist people who are existing on a superficial plane.
Yeah.
82% of the masses are just drifting through this life. At most, 18% are enlightened and see things and understand the difference between decency and dishonor.
I couldn't agree
So
more.
it's a pretty direct proportion. I'm not surprised by that result.
Sammy, you've talked a lot about, being in tune with the universe. Nikki, often in her career, has been in tune with the galaxy. Does that help at all?
Oh, wow, that's a really good
It doesn't really help at all, but
So yes, before my travels and my adventures took me to the World Wrestling Entertainment, I was the best in the galaxy. Not just the world, not just Scotland, not just Europe, not just planet Earth. I was the best in the galaxy. It's great fun.
Whoa.
I was also
okay.
in the home of professional wrestling, and I was also called the white chocolate cheesecake of sports entertainment.
How many monikers did you have?
There was a lot of monikers. I was just trying to get
It's
noticed.
a lot of monikers.
Well, you know what? Here's the funny thing. She was just trying to get noticed, and where is she now?
Yep.
WWE sitting beside maybe the best professional wrestler on the planet.
A couple of winners sitting right next to each other and watching.
Divine consciousness at work, if I've ever seen it.
Consciousness.
It's at work.
We're sitting on top of the world because two decent people have overcome. Because that is what the universe does. It provides for decent people.
I'll get you a T-shirt. I think I've still got one.
Well, gentlemen, I mean, you seem to be doing fine over there, enjoying your cushy corporate paycheck every week. But hey, it'll find you too. Oh, it'll find you eventually, pal.
Definitely Matt and Evan over there with their picks.
Yeah. I've always been a
Big
fan.
Charlotte's getting frustrated.
Not surprised. Not surprised.
Karma.
It speaks to the type of person she is. I'm not surprised at all.
Nikki,
Divine consciousness.
A hissy fit when she tries to control something that is out of her control. Just typical, surface level mindset. Just hovering at the bottom. I want something now, and when I can't have it, that makes me angry. It's pedestrian. It's a pedestrian way of looking at the world, and this is the result you're getting: frustration. You think she goes home happy? Not a chance. Not a chance. There's not a chance she's happy with herself when she acts like that. Not a chance.
Oh, these women are starting to get.
The demeanor has changed.
Yeah, they're
Nikki,
not hitting each other hard.
Nikki, as you
The
pretend.
Raw Women's Championship is on the line.
Oh,
And I don't care who's it. I don't care if it's Charlotte. I don't care if it's Rhea. It's time for the best in the galaxy to take the Raw Women's Championship. Don't you agree? Don't you think?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Nikki. I'm rooting for you.
Thank you.
I'm rooting for you.
This has
seem
been
like a
nice
very
tonight. I
decent
like
It's
it.
really nice. It really
This has
was.
been nice.
Nikki, as you potentially, look to face these women going forward, now that you're enlightened, do you plan to use this karma to your advantage, trying to channel it, and whether it be against Rhea or against
hold on.
Okay. Do you think you can use the universal karma and the pull to your advantage going forward?
After talking with Sammy, I do feel enlightened. And I think the last 4 weeks, karma has been on my side. Karma has been, lady luck, luck of lady of luck, luck inside the lady, the luck of the lady.
Luck be the
luck
lady
of
tonight.
You don't need to try to give it a human form. It's
No,
not.
it just exists.
It's in you already.
It's inside
It's in
me.
you. It's in you. It's in the particles that are in this table. It
Yes.
flows through all of this. Don't you understand? It's everywhere. It's already
everywhere.
in you.
It's already inside
in you.
me. It's inside me already.
Nikki, you're already the women's champ. You are.
You're right.
You just need to actualize it.
I just need.
Congratulations, Nikki.
So I've defeated both of them, so But karma, I do think that this has been.
Oh.
I need to think about this and the
Tie.
divine,
And with some force.
divine
Consciousness.
consciousness. I was about to say circumstances.
Bring awareness.
Divine. Now, is this
was-
bad karma though? Your shoulder?
Oh,
This is just a minor bump. This is nothing in the grand scheme of it all.
Little wrinkle.
It's almost a metaphor, right, Sammy? It's almost a metaphor for overcoming adversity in life, yeah?
The wound.
Stop trying to ascribe meaning when there is none. This
Fair
is
enough.
nothing.
I
This
apologize.
is just something that happened, and in the grand scheme of it all, it's inconsequential. Que sera, sera.
Yeah, that was a
What'll
stupid
be,
question by me.
will be.
That was a stupid
Will
question
be,
by me.
will be.
I'm still learning.
it was obvious that Charlotte was conscious of where she was in the ring. Wait, did Rhea just hurt herself?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
This has been physical.
As expected.
Yeah, no surprise there.
It's interesting too that Charlotte's going after the leg because when she wrestled Rhea at WrestleMania, she targeted the leg, and that's how she took the NXT Women's Championship from Rhea.
Look, I'm not going to speak to the quality of their character as human beings. The universe knows their intentions.
The galaxy knows their
And
intentions.
when they put their heads down to sleep at night, they know who they really are. So I'm not even going to speak about what kind of people they are. But as competitors, I take nothing away from them.
Oh, she's got a.
Whoa.
Oh boy.
If she can bridge into
Did it
the
before.
if she can bridge into the 8, this could very well
I
be
mean, the
it.
figure 4 hurts enough, but
Is my next opponent Rhea or Charlotte?
You get to face the winner?
I get to. I
Or you're
want.
targeting the winner?
I'm targeting the one. Target.
you would certainly deserve it, Nikki.
That's not full reversal of the
Oh,
pressure.
there you go. There you go.
You listen to me right now, bum fellas.
Yes.
Bum fellas.
Sammy. Yes.
when Nikki Cross becomes Raw Women's Champion, you go on the bump and you say, Sammy called it.
Sammy called us.
100%.
Sammy called us.
100%.
You said it here on Watch Long. Everyone is heard.
Guys in the truck, save this clip. We will do that.
Yeah. Earmark it. Earmark it.
I'm sure it'll get posted by WWE social media, Sammy. I'm sure it will.
Oh!
Whoa!
Oh, Sammy, this is karma.
She's getting herself disqualified.
Rhea.
And still.
Really, Rhea, you're taking that way out?
Wait a minute. What is going on right now?
She got herself disqualified. Because...
Well, no.
No, they rang the bell,
I
Sammy.
believe
The bell is wrong, Sammy.
the bell has been rung.
The bell didn't ring yet.
No.
The
I think
bell.
this is her game plan, though. I think that's what she's trying to do.
It looks like it.
Oh,
We have our
game
volume
plan.
very low, but as best we know, the bell has rung.
Okay. I really thought Rhea was going to try
You know what? But if Sami Zayn did that, I know the table, guaranteed the match would have been called.
Guaranteed.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, the match would have been done about 15 minutes ago because the ref probably would have fast counted me. It's happened before. I have video proof.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe that.
But it's funny how in this match, that's not a DQ. Even though she's flirting with the rules, she's breaking
No, it's
it's
the
funny that that's allowed to slide. But if Sami Zayn did that, I promise you,
You would have been suspended.
You know what?
No,
Yeah, exactly.
The match is over.
Let's not focus on all that.
At the same time, it's smart that Rhea did that.
The match is over.
I don't like that, Rhea. I don't like that.
It's game over. Is Rhea Ripley still the champion?
The bell did ring.
She's going back outside again. Why is she going outside?
No, it's over. The bell rang, Nikki.
It's over.
So she did get DQ'd.
I told you the bell was ringing.
Charlotte won by disqualification.
Obviously, Rhea retains the title in that
We barely
scenario.
have any
So
audio
Rhea
here.
Ripley's still the
We barely
champion.
have any audio here. So she got DQ'd.
Yes.
Yeah, that seems a little fishy that they'd have so little audio there for you, Sammy.
She really took that way out. Really? That's what I told you. That's what she went for.
She retains,
And
but
I
Charlotte won by
apologize to
DQ.
the bump. We were so excited. We pulled the bell. She really got herself DQ'd.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
She knew she couldn't put Charlotte away.
Oh, you can't laugh after that. You can't laugh after that kind of thing.
I think on Rhea.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
It's not a duh. I mean,
I'm the guardian of the good.
Are you trying to come up with another moniker now?
I'm back on, but I will be the guardian of the good because the Raw Women's Championship
Actually,
should
there
be
we
the
go.
guardian of the good. The guardian of the good, Nikki Cross. That should not. That's so degrading for the Raw Women's Championship. That should not be defended like that.
Listen, I'm not saying I know everything, even though I'm clearly an enlightened person, but I'll say this. I know Nikki Cross would never do that.
Never.
Not a chance.
Agreed.
I think we all agree on that.
It's not in her character. It's not in her character.
Never. And I'm so. That represents what? That represents the galaxy. Nah, I'm coming for you, Rhea. I'm about to actually took my jacket off. I got so warm.
I see that.
I'm coming for her.
Miss,
Happy for her.
Miss Nikki, I really appreciate you for joining us. Sami Zayn, the great Sami Zayn, thank you so much for joining us, guys. I really appreciate you taking the time, sir, especially after this hard-fought match with KO. Nikki Cross, you're amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you
The
both.
guardian of the good Nikki Cross and the divine consciousness.
Nikki Bird.
Hey, I would love an apology.
Hold on, Mr.
I apologize, even though hopefully I did the least wrong of the three of us. But I apologize.
Mr. Zayn, let me tell you something. In all sincerity, man, listen, Ron Revelle, Nash Wiener, they switched the graphics on me, man.
They did.
I had you, man, and they did a switcheroo, man.
Doesn't sound like an apology.
Listen, Sammy, I'll admit I got it wrong, and I am sorry, and congratulations on your victory.
Shout out to Sami Zayn, baby.
Yeah. Clearly, we're seeing a difference between a slightly more fully formed human being who can acknowledge his mistakes to someone clearly wrestling with cognitive dissonance and cannot even acknowledge when he's made a mistake. That's fine. It's fine.
Gotta stop that.
You'll figure it out one day, pal.
Don't love that journey.
Thank you, Sammy. Thank you for your time, and Nikki,
A light. Thank you
the
so much.
galaxy's on your side, Nikki. The consciousness, all of it. Thank you, Nikki. Go get him, Nikki. Go get him, Nikki.
Nikki Bird.
So on, Nikki.
Wow.
Oh, goodness. Well, MVP, he don't like me. JBL, he don't like me. Sami Zayn, he
You're gonna
don't
get
JBL and Sami Zayn on the same side. That's never happened before.
So this could be a good thing.
Evan, I could easily say this is one of the worst days of your life.
But this could be a good thing, though. If I can bridge the gap between Sami Zayn and JBL, we could have, I don't know, in a roundabout way.
We have to do a positive
Speaking of
spin on
bridging the
Sami
gap,
Zayn.
who had Nikki
Yeah,
Cross
shouldn't have
and
done that.
Sami Zayn finding such wonderful common grounds here on
Sami Zayn's one of the
I think that's a Peacock show right there.
I watch anything with Sami Zayn,
Yeah.
man. Sami Zayn just...
The world according to Sammy and Nikki.
Oh, he just
Universe
works
and
for
the
The universe, the
galaxy.
galaxy. I mean,
Wow.
the divine consciousness is hopefully going to be on our side here the rest
That's
of the
like a... I like that. That's a
Pick
nice...
Sammy, though.
I don't know if you would have cared. Honestly, that you picked
Nash, I need you...
It's better than not picking him, as we were.
Nash and Ryan, I need you to be able to switch brothers on the fly. Like literally... Like,
Well, they can't retroactively switch.
we got to work on this.
How about you just make better picks?
Or just stick to it. Just stick to a pick. Like, next month, you're going to have to make some picks for Money in the Bank because we're back with fans on July 18th in Fort Worth, Texas.
Beautiful voice in my ear, and he's just like, nah.
No.
Okay, so
Next month's Money in the Bank. There's like
it's gonna be
6
Texas fans.
in those matches.
He'll pick everybody.
I just didn't expect Sami Zayn to come on last long, man.
That was a surprise.
And they had the graphic queued up from earlier on the show.
That was not in the rundown.
You guys are so professional.
They're very good at their job.
Man, that's professional
Much
work.
like Sami Zayn was tonight when he beat Kevin Owens in the middle with the haluva kick.
I got in my ear. You should have been saying it.
I mean, Evan, I'll tell you this. The one thing we knew for sure today is the divine consciousness ain't with you,
It
man.
really isn't, man. It really isn't.
I will just say, last year I said Sami Zayn never lost the Intercontinental Championship. I was on his side. I picked KO because if you go back in the history books, this is what I like fall back on. KO has a definitively better record against Sami Zayn. It was just in the numbers. But tonight, Sami beat.
Absolutely.
We move on to Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley said as long as he's champion, this will be the last and final match for Drew McIntyre against him. It should be very, very interesting to see.
Yep.
Like I said, I think it's crazy to think that Bobby might be on the top of the game now, but he's been in the game for such a long time. But he very well might be. But so Drew McIntyre,
chance to pin him.
this is Clash of the Titans, man.
Yeah, I beat the drum on this all afternoon on the bump. I'll say it here one more time, maybe a few more, who knows.
I really don't understand
What
how
Drew
this
did on
keeps
Monday, defeating Bobby Lashley with the Claymore, clean in the middle of the ring, cannot be overstated heading into this match. It's all Drew McIntyre has been fixated on since WrestleMania Saturday, was that if he could just hit that Claymore on Bobby Lashley, that things would be different. He finally did it, and things were different. It is a pivotal factor heading into this match tonight.
It is, but I will say this, and Jimmy Smith noted this when he joined us on the bump. You've seen Drew get frustrated. You've seen him get thrown off his game when things aren't all happening the way he wants. In the cell, it's two men. It's the champion, the almighty Bobby Lashley. It's Drew McIntyre. Theoretically, there should be no distractions. There should be nothing else to worry about, whether it be we've seen New Day involved, or MVP involved, or Lashley's. None of that's there. There's no distractions that happens in the ring. But I have noticed one thing about Bobby Lashley. He didn't get, it wasn't, when he won the championship, it wasn't a look of, oh my God, I finally did this. It was, no, I did this.
Yep.
Of course I did this. And that's the same demeanor he has had his entire career, but especially in the last year. When he lost to Drew McIntyre last year, he was determined to not let that happen again. But when the championship has been on the line, it hasn't happened. That's why I picked him tonight, even though he's never been in a Hell in a Cell match.
We couldn't do this Hell in a Cell watch along without someone that's synonymous with Hell in a Cell. He's one of my favorites, one of the best of all time, man. The great Mick Foley. What's going on, baby?
Yeah.
We're having a nice night.
Welcome, Mick.
Great. Thanks for having me as part of this.
Thank you so much for joining us. You got like a log cabin? This is beautiful wood behind you. Where you at, baby?
I rented a cabin for Father's Day weekend. I'm loving
Wonderful.
it. It's beautiful night. So I'm excited to get this call. I like to think I have something to offer, and I appreciate the invite.
Well, Mick, first of all, happy Father's Day for you, and thank you for spending part of it with us.
Appreciate you, brother.
Second of all, I felt like we kind of owed you this because for some reason, RJ City had you this past Wednesday on Wednesday morning wake up, and he declined to ask you about Hell in a Cell. So I feel like we have to make up for that tonight.
I even said it. RJ, we're not going to talk about the salad. He's like, maybe next time. But he did a great job. Just want you to know inside info right before I came on here. Not that I'm dropping names, but it's a good one. Becky sent me a text message because she had received the Happy Father's Day song that Dude Love has sent over to Seth Rollins.
Wow.
And it was
That's awesome.
pretty cool behind-the-scenes stuff, right?
Love it. Mr. Mick Foley, sir, you're here. We got Drew McIntyre. We have Bobby Lashley. We have Hell in a Cell. Sir, what are your early thoughts?
Man, it's a tough one. The guys match up so well physically. I have to say it's McIntyre because look, the one thing I say when Drew was champion during this horrible coronavirus time is I wish he had a chance to do this in front of our great fans. So he was like the glue holding Raw together during a really tough time. And so now we're on the horizon of having that amazing WWE Universe back. And I feel like he needs this match as much to be part of that atmosphere as he does to not only conquer the cell, win the WWE title, but there's a new horizon out there for WWE superstars, and I think Drew's going to reach out and grab it tonight.
Well said. I'm going to kick it to the WWE Universe. Do you guys agree with Mick Foley? What do you think? Hashtag Bobby wins. Hashtag Drew wins. Let's see where your thoughts lie. It's really interesting. You can't prepare for a Hell in a Cell, right, Mr. Foley? You can't prepare for this. Can you? Can you try?
Oh, can you? Hey, I thought I had a game plan in 1998. I thought I had a game plan in 2000. And like they say, I think it was Mike Tyson says everybody's got a game plan until they get punched in the face. So, you find out what you're made of. You test your metal in a hurry because the cell, it will test you.
And Mick, before we get going with this, I'm sure that you dove in with Stone Cold on Broken Skull Sessions about your Hell in a Cell experiences. Obviously, Broken Skull Sessions now available on Peacock. Recommend everyone check it out. What was that experience like for you? Obviously, you've talked to Steve countless times in your career and your life, but in that environment, how cool was that?
What was incredible to me was just how fast the 4 hours went by. I mean, I know they're going to condense that. You're not going to have a 4-hour conversation, but it was like, bam, it was just flying by. It was one of those nights I had the super early wake up because I was flying out to where Steve is. I think it's in Nevada, right on the border with California. So I had no sleep whatsoever. And when you're so tired and then you come out of it and you have that amazing blast of adrenaline that gets you through before you conk out. And it just was a great conversation. It's funny how I hadn't seen Steve in a while. Talk to him, you pick up where you left off. We've got so much history together, and Steve is great at what he does. And, I think it's going to be one of the best Broken Skull sessions to date.
It's up on Peacock. You can stream it, of course, probably after you watch this one tonight, or, of course, WWE Network everywhere else. And, Mick, what I took from that and some of the preview clips, you did some of the games that Steve likes to play. To me, it was two wrestling fans, but also two wrestling savants who have been through every different angle, as a wrestler, from being commissioners or authority figures, from being in the ring. You went through the same places, from, Texas to WCW to ECW, then to here in WWE. You both checked a lot of the same boxes, but it came back to me, there is a passion that never goes away, and I felt that from both of you guys.
Yeah, it never does. We still love it. We understand it's changed quite a bit from when we were active. But, it's WWE is always changing. It's a necessity, and we think the superstars of today are incredible, probably on average better athletes than we were. I know there's something to be said for what we did during the Attitude Era, and I think, we had the freedom to tell stories in our own way. That maybe the guys and men and women of today, but geez, talk about just women being a key word, right? We didn't have cell matches for the women, and I was so proud. Not only that I was the GM to announce the cell match between Sasha and Charlotte in, was it 2016?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that it was my son Dewey who suggested it at a WWE meeting. So it was, they were looking for a main event. My son raised his hand and he said, what if we had a women's cell match? And so that was kind of like I got the credit for it, but it was really my son suggesting it. And so, yeah, so the women, not that the women weren't great in our era, but they didn't have the chance. Not as much was expected of them. And they did steal shows. I mean, I remember Trish and Lita stealing a pay-per-view and main eventing Raw. But for a while, not as much was expected out of the women. And they've just been dynamite. The cell match tonight with the women was so innovative. And hey, if you think for a second that the men don't feel that pressure, you don't know about that real life backstage competition. Everybody wants to come out of every pay-per-view saying they stole the show. Now going into an event like this that these cell matches are going to have the upper hand, but the women already have painted their masterpiece on that canvas, and now the men, in addition to man versus man versus themselves, man versus the elements, because this is in a sense a man-made hell, the same type that Big Bad John walked through in the 1961 Jimmy Dean classic, Big Bad John. But now it's man against the women because they have to take on what the women have already put forth. So there's an unbelievable amount of pressure. And also, it's also both men versus the aura of the South.
Right. Yeah.
So the pressure on these guys is enormous.
That aura, Mick, is something that you created, and I think a lot of people had a tough time attempting to top. Even though they probably shouldn't have, they were attempting to top that. But I think the women, especially in recent years...
All right.
That's okay.
There we go.
There you go. You're back over a little bit more, Mick, and then you're good to go. A little bit more.
Yeah.
There you go. Back the other way. Come to your right a little. I'm not good at this direction stuff.
Like this. We got it.
Right there.
There. Wow, and look at Drew going right away. Look, as an old school cage match wrestler, I know a cage and a cell are two different things. The raking of the face is usually like, that is an effort usually towards the tail end of the match. And Drew going right out. These guys are phenomenal athletes, and they are powerful, and there's bad blood there. And so to go right away with the heavy artillery is something I like. I was all about taking a dive into the deep end of the pool and seeing how, I'm speaking metaphorically here, but I wasn't a toe dipper, in my WWE matches at all.
Cannonball, baby. Please go. Oh.
The deep end, I'm going to stay submerged as long as I can. Which means, for those of you who don't get what I'm talking about, is like you go with your strength as fast as you can for as long as you can. The other guy's better than you and tougher than you, and then so be it. But you're going to go out playing your strengths instead of tippy-toeing around.
And Mick, to that point, I think maybe some of that coming out of the gate so strong for Drew is that he did this last year. He has Hell in a Cell experience that Bobby does not. And we've literally talked about this all day on the bump and throughout this watch-along tonight. Everyone talks about 98. I want to focus on 2000 for a second. How vital for you was that experience? Triple H had been in cage matches before. You had been in a cage match with Triple H famously in WWE before, but he had never been in the cell before. How vital for you was that experience heading into 2000, that second time around against Triple H?
Well, I was in respect trying to live up to the aura of the cell even back then. I went out and said, it was probably a mistake. I will go to the top of that cell again. And so now I'm in a situation where instead of trying to, being 100% focused on the match, now I've got to live up to my word. And Triple H and I did go up there, but it hurt the match. It was a great match. Don't get me wrong, one of my favorite of all time. But I could not figure out why the crowd was not more enthusiastic about the stuff we were doing inside the cell. And it wasn't until I threw the stairs, the same way Drew's got those stairs, surprising speed for a guy in my limited deltoid development, and the stairs actually went through the cell structure, and then that crowd came alive because it's like now the Foley prediction is coming to fruition. But I wouldn't be foolish enough to, be calling my own shots. If I had to do it over again, I would have concentrated 100% on having the, best performance I could instead of promising something that I may or may not have been able to deliver.
And Nick, that aura thing, to that you're trying to match your aura, that's changed though. I think, whether it be Charlotte and Sasha, whether it be Becky and Sasha, whether it be Sasha and Bayley last year or tonight, it's different now. But it's different in a way where the expectations are going to be, you know what? Look what Bailey did today. Look how innovative she was in using different parts of the cell.
Innovation is the key. We want to say who could find the best and most innovative ways to make the cell structure work for them and work for the match. Again, like I said, I even wrote this like an old school cage match. Yeah, as long as you can throw the guy off the mesh a couple times, rake his eyes, rake his face into the mesh, the wire, you were having a pretty good match as long as the characters, had a great story going in and were capable of telling the story inside the ring. These guys have so much pressure on them. Again, innovative. Like, look, it's Russian leg sweep using the stick into the back of the, that's a basically backwards head bump using a Russian leg sweep. Russian leg sweep on its own inside a cell, not likely to elicit much of a reaction or to put a big guy like Bobby Lashley, an amazing guy like Bobby Lashley. I don't want to undersell either of these guys, but this is thinking outside the box. How do I take a move that on itself may not be devastating and make it devastating by using the tools of the trade?
And you need it against a guy that big. You got to do anything you can to take him down. And I have to say, Mick, we're seeing Drew do that. He's going somewhere where we haven't seen him go that often.
Oh, no.
And this is not different, though, for Bobby. Bobby's getting some help the only way he can from MVP right now.
That was to the throat.
Whether or not MVP should be passing tools of the trade through the mesh, that's up to conjecture. But man, has that guy, and I'm not using this as a pun or play on words, but he has been such a valuable player to this company since coming back, especially in that 1 year, 15-month era without a crowd, because he was able to communicate through that lens, and he has been not only a great addition, to Bobby Lashley, but to WWE as well.
Mick, we talked to MVP earlier today, and he just kept, for good reason, harping on Lashley's focus. And Mick, you're a multiple-time WWE champion. You were in an era with several dominant champions, whether it be Austin, Undertaker, Triple H himself, the list. When you're vying for that championship, and someone having a reign as dominant as Lashley, as you on the other person, in this case Drew, especially who he was tasted the gold before. Does trying to topple that dominant champion work as a motivator, or can it psych you out? Because right now, Bobby's been on an incredible run for months and months.
A little bit of both. And this is where the strength of character comes in. Oh, man, that was devastating, right? Wow.
Look at MVP.
That's what I would call a career shortener.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, my Foley tablet's having some trouble here.
Okay.
My reputation as a...
More legendary cell phones from Foley here.
I was one of the last party as far as technology is concerned. You know what? I did not have to... for me, winning the title in and of itself was I'm so sorry about this, guys. That was all that counted. For Drew, a guy of his age, with his physical tools, winning the title isn't enough. You have to build a dominant title reign. So, like in my case, I held the title combined 3 times for cumulative total of maybe 47 days. That's not meant as a joke. That was the length of my 3 title reigns combined. And because of who I was and my limited hand I was dealt genetically, I was considered to be a huge success. It's funny because if somebody else were to do something similarly, they'd almost be like the WWE. They'd almost be like the Buffalo Bills of the WWE. Despite the 3 title reigns, they'd be seen as a guy who could win the big one but couldn't hold on to it. And I just think that Drew, specifically, because he was the chosen one years ago, and because of the amazing skills he has and how far he came along after he left WWE, and talk about rebuilding process that should be blueprint for anybody who's had what people think is their run but thinks they are capable of better things. I just think for Drew, he not only has to win this, but he has to be dominant in order to be up there with the greatest champions of all time.
And there's been different motivating factors, right, Mick? Last year, he wins the Royal Rumble match, then he defeats Brock Lesnar, and he is the champion, in that pandemic era. But he had unbelievable matches. Then he lost it to Randy Orton, but then he got it back to kind of say, hey, it was a fluke, if you will. Then he loses it again, and we know the means by all that with the Miz. And now, as you said earlier, now he has even more motivation because he wants to get back out in front of the fans as a champion. Because when he did that at WrestleMania, wasn't able to hold on. He wasn't able to get that championship back. Now he wants to get the championship back in a month in Texas and walk out there with the fans cheering him.
And again, like I said, that's something that Bobby is. Drew has not had the benefit of doing, is enjoying a title reign with the WWE audience. I mean, I remember I just heard John Denver sing "Take Me Home, Country Roads," and I remember defeating The Rock in a house show in West Virginia, and I said, "Country Roads," and the crowd came alive, and they just, everyone to a person sang that song. It was actually Dwayne who suggested to me. He said when they played West Virginia, he said, when we lost, we were upset. He said, but it was something else. And he was like, if you get the chance to do it, do it. Because I guarantee you every one of these people will join in, and they did. And it's just like that's something you can't do in Thunderdome, no matter how I'm at this season. I'm the worst, man.
There you go.
You're hanging in, baby.
Mick, after that experience, did you go up to Rocky and say, hey, how about we try Tori Amos next time? Was that
No, famous, there was another great song, The Gambler. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Like, you got to know your strengths. And that doesn't mean you don't take chances, but, singing Tori Amos would have no chance. I've done it at my one-man shows. By the way, you can check out my schedule for September. Yeah. RealMickFoley.com. Got the one-man shows returning. Not that I'm plugging anything.
Oh, no.
But that's something that works in an intimate 200-person surrounding, not in front of, 15,000 strong. But last year, the past two WrestleManias have been so good, and it's such a comment on the dedication and hard work of the WWE superstars. Because it's difficult to dig out to be your best without those fans in the audience. And I'm just so grateful that this will be, fingers crossed, knock on wood, the final pay-per-view ever, and that the next time there's a cell match, you will feel that crowd come alive. And I think the appreciation from the WWE Universe is just going to be incredible. People are really starved for what we have, and I know the WWE superstars are going to feed off it.
And that is clearly motivating Drew McIntyre, although he might have just walked into the Hurt Lock right there.
Doesn't have his chin, though.
Mick, to your point, I really think that's motivated Drew because he's pulled out stuff we have not seen him pull out, and all of it legal. But he has used everything he can to take advantage of being in a match like this because he's that motivated, including. Wow.
Steve and I were talking, doing that lightning round, and Lashley came up. And I think I said potential realized in that he was always that guy you said, he's really good. He's just this one short step away from being great.
Right.
We don't know what's missing. It's just a matter of finding your groove. And Lashley this year, and maybe with the help of MVP, has found that groove. And he's at the top of his game. He's 20 years into his career, right?
15 plus at least. But, and has done it in so many places and has stepped outside of WWE rings and has stepped inside MMA cages. And to get to this point, though, I said it earlier, last year when he lost to Drew, it was, I'm not letting that happen again. And he didn't, and he's been champion. And he's a very
that is true.
confident, and you never get comfortable, but he feels right. It wasn't a shock to him to become WWE champion. It was just a matter of time, and I think what you said to Steve, potential realized. He is well aware of that, although it feels like tonight, Mick, Bobby, maybe the inexperience is part of it.
I think so.
He's kind of been off his game tonight for the first time in probably years.
There's that old saying, who wants it more? And just observing, it just appears to me like Drew wants it a little bit more tonight.
Yeah, he
It
does.
feels like that.
Mick, do you feel that Drew? I mean, Drew is always aggressive, right? But this feels like a different level. That look,
demeanor right there.
That,
You got it.
look exactly right there feels like a.
Oh!
Wow, Mick! Whoa! Oh! Oh my!
Man!
Oh. Well, Mick, my question was going to be about Drew's demeanor, and now Drew is borderline unconscious. So I rescind. But,
Wow.
okay.
He might
And
have
this is
woke
where
up
you
on
get
him.
old-fashioned, this is just come on, help me out here. New York Times #1 best-selling author. I'm drowning out here. Throw me a life preserver. Tell me what.
Right now, I would say.
Have a nice day. And Foley is good. Also,
Vocal is amazing.
Hardcore Diaries. We're read it in a couple days. It's like it was a quick read.
Hall of Famer, man. You do whatever you want.
I was about to, I was such a big Rocky fan. I was going to go, this is plain old-fashioned butchering. And that's what they said in the first Rocky movie. And so, hey, going back to when I was an announcer, man, it wasn't a great time for me. I give these guys so much credit for going out there because you have to be locked in and you have to tell the world out there listening what it is you see on that monitor. Because you're not calling what you see in the ring, you're calling what you see on that monitor. And you can't have come on, MVP.
Wow.
You can't have
This is shades of the Usos New Day match.
Yeah. Oh, man. Drew is,
Defiant.
Now it's a clubbering. That's what it is right now. This
good
is
old
a clubbering Lang.
a clubbering, yes. But this is now the champion going, I'm going to win this any way possible, and I'm going to stay on my opponent.
This is bad news.
My goodness. I mean, Drew McIntyre could not
Yeah!
worse of a
Beautiful.
spot considering his opponent right now.
Quite literally.
I mean,
Yeah.
against that man who's just beating you in the corner. He got free, though.
Wow, that's resiliency.
Oh, my goodness.
That's not.
That's the champ, though, right there. This is the most we've seen of Bobby on sustained offense, and it's been a lot in a short period of time.
Mick, I've always been fascinated by just how, the cell, when people are in there, it's like, it feels like it's literally its own world. For Bobby, or what we're seeing is him, it's the first time we've talked about experience, like I said, all day. But at 15, 20 minutes, however long we're into this, do you start to adapt to that world, even if you're in it for the first time?
Sure, I think you do. I think he's done a great job of it, right? We've seen him now utilizing his surroundings really well. He came down where he just time to club him with the fists. He did that. MVP hands him a little, like I said, tool of the trade. He makes the best of it. And now he's going to work with a chair in an unorthodox but very effective manner. Yeah, I think he's adapted really well.
Both guys have done that well, especially Drew, but now Bobby doing it where you go, hey, I have this all at my disposal. And it was something, Nick, that we did not see as Drew takes another one with the chair. It's something, Nick, we did not see Bianca do initially. She tried to just wrestle in the ring. And Bayley's pulling out everything. And I think it took 10, 15 minutes for Bianca to get comfortable to go, okay, I got to try to use other stuff now. I almost feel like that's an advantage that you had going in, is you were kind of known for that before you got into the cell.
I'm going to go on the record to say I'm a little bit hurt, personally and professionally, that neither Bianca or Drew reached out to me before this match.
Oh, they should have.
Number, yeah. Yeah,
You have resources at your disposal.
Bianca did get the victory tonight, so it worked out okay. Now she has that experience, but I agree. I mean, Drew's been in there before. Maybe Bobby should have called.
It might have went a little easier if they reached out to you, Mr. Foley.
Hey, you know what? People in the past, they really have. Hold on a second. How am I messing up again?
You're good.
You're good. You're great.
Come to, yeah. No, wait.
And remind them that I was 0-2 and known for being devastated. Oh, man, I'm so sorry.
Go the other way.
Stop.
Don't you move.
No, you're great. Right there, Mick.
You're perfect.
We're crushing it.
Oh, no. Oh, boy. Well, now no one can win at the current time because there's no referee.
Oh, my.
The chair has been trouble for all 3 minutes.
Well, here's a problem, Drew. We have no official.
Let's count. 1, 2.
I think you could do the proverbial count to 100, but there's no reason.
Drew should be 3-time WWE champion right now, I think.
Yeah, pretty much.
We'll never know.
Nick, you've been a referee in a match like this.
Very first cell match with Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, we had a referee injury. That was how the cell door was open. Are we seeing a harkening back to that era? I don't know, but they have to get a new referee in there. That door has to be open, and this could change everything.
Unlike you, Mick, that referee was not as involved as you were when you were a referee in the Hell in a Cell.
Ah, crap, I jumped too high.
Yeah, refereed twice.
That's right.
Yep.
To Kevin Nash and Triple H, and then 3 years ago, I felt like I really did need to be back in there. And on the 20th anniversary, not to the day, but 20 years.
Claymore! That's all he said he had to do. It worked
He
out.
shouldn't have done that.
No!
No!
Let's get involved.
Oh my
Are you
gosh!
kidding me?
Look at that look of contempt.
Oh,
He nearly had that, like for real.
I don't know how much run he could do with a cane,
I was
but
gonna say,
whatever he could do,
Only
get
thing now
moving.
is MVP. Door is open, so
Are you kidding me?
Oh,
you
boy.
can leave the cell, but Drew can go after you. Uh-oh. Wait, well,
You gotta stay focused. This is what happened
Wait a
at
second.
This is what happened at WrestleMania.
Oh, he got locked in.
He's locked in.
MVP.
oh my.
Oh.
This is, hold on.
Drew's got to keep his eyes on the prize,
This
though.
is like WrestleMania. You gotta pay attention.
You're right, Evan.
You gotta pay attention.
Oh,
Oh, boy.
This is what this. Do not get caught up in this.
you're not wrong, Ev, but at the same time,
No, this is too much. I'm telling you, man.
Not
this is
using
too
his
much.
head right now.
you're
This
not
is
wrong,
too
but
much.
I don't think this is what's happening.
You can't pin MVP though.
I'm okay
It's kinda-
taking MVP out. I get it. You may want to take it here again, but take him
I
out
made him
and
forfeit.
get back
Yeah,
on Bobby
Back to
Lashley.
your point, he's now in there. He ain't getting out, more than likely.
Okay,
All right,
now
yeah.
stop worrying about MVP.
Yeah.
Focus on don't.
Well, where's Bobby?
That's the question. That's
yeah.
the question.
I'll tell you what, he's a good champion because he rolled out of the ring, Mick.
Look at McIntyre's back.
I have to guess Bobby's finding something else, another toy, as I used to like to call it.
Maybe Terry Funk's shoes are still in there, Mick. Who knows?
Drew, what are you doing?
Oh, he's got the chain.
Now available on WWE Shop.
He's trying. Is he choking him
Randomly
away?
moving, I'm trying to grab Mosquito.
Boy.
Oh no!
Oh boy.
So
He put too much focus on MVP.
Yeah,
Too much focus on
the
MVP.
Claymore should have been it.
Can he get out of it though?
Come on, Drew.
That's in.
He didn't have this at WrestleMania to use. He's got the cell to help him,
Mick, that looked.
and it works
Oh!
with a table. Or did he hold on? Nope, he's out.
Wow.
Amazingly, we might be back to square one and no MVP and a second referee.
Mick, that was a very unpredictable sequence, to say the least.
Yeah, and I was shocked when Bobby won at Mania in such convincing fashion.
Yeah.
Like it might be more of the same, and then Drew utilized that table that had been attempted many minutes ago, right? 15 minutes ago?
Yes.
Yeah, roughly.
They say that fatigue makes cowards of us all.
Yes, sir.
There is nothing like knowing you don't have any gas in the tank when you need it the most. And this is crunch. Oh man.
You're great. You're great.
Right there. You're good.
You know my history with technology. I'm surprised I'm doing this well.
You're doing extraordinary.
We're hanging in there, and Drew smartly getting the champion back in the ring, and we do have a new referee in there, a healthy referee.
I mean, as crazy as it sounds, since he had the hold applied, Bobby took the worst of that. This is a huge opportunity right now.
Where's Drew going with this?
Yes, buddy.
Because he's hit him with the Claymore, but he didn't have a chance to get anybody to count for him.
Mick, who am I? I obviously have, not 0% of the in-ring experience you do, but as effective as a chair is, I think Drew should be looking for the Claymore right now. Is this a bad move here?
Why not? There you go.
There's never a bad move.
Nah.
I got to tell you.
Nah.
Ask Stone Cold at WrestleMania 17. The chair's a good move.
That's totally fair. Totally fair. Although,
Bad time here. I believe a chair may or may not have played a role in my defeating Dwayne Johnson the first time.
speaking of WrestleMania 17.
Chair action,
Oh, here we go. So I said 17, man. Just go to work with a chair, wear them out. That's a good way to take a champion
I
down.
mean, obviously, my point, a chair can set up the Claymore, absolutely. It just seems like Drew is...
And it may
All
have, Ryan.
Yep. I
Yo,
probably...
you called it, friend.
Yeah.
Come on, Drew.
Oh, he missed.
Wow.
Now Bobby may have just fallen down from exhaustion.
Listen, no distraction that time, but that's the exact sequence at WrestleMania that ultimately, that's going to be in Drew's head right there. That's a big moment, regardless of what happens.
You can see the tail of the cell, the toll it's taking.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Literally.
These guys are going to feel this for weeks.
Oh!
Wow. Maybe months.
Yes.
Change my answer to months.
Oh, how about Bobby?
What's going on?
He is fired up.
They say the cell changes you forever. It might be making Bobby Lashley even more dangerous. That might be the change.
Unreal. Look at, the power at this point in the match to lift him up off the apron from the inside out. And then beat your chest after that.
Don't be surprised if he does a victory lap in a minute, in more ways than one.
Hey man, I've been in situations like that. It does. If you're Drew, you don't feel good.
Yeah.
Just knock the wind out of you, and this is where you have to literally tell yourself you need to get in there. You need to go. You have to have a conversation with yourself. And it remains to be seen whether Drew is, whether he's listening. This is, I'm not kidding. This is not hyperbole. That's one of the most difficult things when you get chokeslam in the ring.
Yep.
Really difficult to move. It seems simple. Problem is you're taking so much of the impact on a small part of your body, maybe 18 inches. If you're off just a little bit to the ribs on either side, you can break ribs. You can hurt yourself internally. Having the wind knock you out of yourself is the least.
He was on top of it, Mick. He might have had that conversation.
Backslide.
Out there, Randy Orton.
About to say.
How he beat Randy Orton. Oh, there you go. A kiss.
Claymore time?
He's 1 for 2 if my math is correct so far. On
You
Bobby.
thought about it for a second.
Future shot.
No. Future
Future
shot.
shot.
2 of those. I'll tell you that.
That was right on the temple. Yeah.
May have found it.
Look at that back.
Wow.
Look at that
You're right,
back.
This has been an
My
absolute war.
goodness.
Oh my gosh,
hit
that
him
was
flush.
intense.
At this stage in the match, you gotta think.
He is it as a wrap.
It's game over.
Here we go. Oh, MVP somehow back up. I guess he should have done
What?
more.
MVP, stop getting involved.
Oh!
No!
Oh my goodness.
And
He made the same mistake. He made the same mistake twice. I'm baffled.
That's gonna eat Drew alive for maybe the rest of his life.
It looks like it's game over for
I don't mean to be a
McIntyre.
Debbie Downer here, but I don't usually put Hell in a Cell in small package. Let's see. I mean, I know you win whatever way you can. I don't want to take what these guys did, but oh man, that's a shocker to me. And now Drew, that's his last shot at the
That's
title,
the
right?
last chance at Lashley right there.
Yeah, that's the headline on WWE.com tonight.
As long as he's champion.
That's it.
That's it.
But I gotta say, that's on Drew. Everything's legal. Nothing that happened in that match. We might not like it, but nothing that happened there can be put on Bobby. He did everything he can do, and it worked. And Drew made the same mistake he made at WrestleMania. Wow.
Off the prize.
I was cheering for Drew McIntyre.
Oh, Nick.
Wow, Mr. Foley, man, it's been an honor and a pleasure for you having us coming on with us, man. Everybody, please, WWE Universe, please check out that Broken Skull Sessions with Mick Foley and the great Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's streaming right now on Peacock. Please watch that. Mr. Foley, I really, really, really appreciate you joining us, sir.
Appreciate you, Mick. What an honor.
I'll tell you what Drew needs. He needs a manager.
Yo, come on, Mick. Where you at, baby? Come on back.
Hey, that's to be part of it, guys.
Thank you, sir. Happy Father's Day, brother.
Happy Father's Day. Thanks, Mick.
Thanks, Mick.
All
Have
right,
a nice
Nick.
night.
Take care. I'm Father's Day.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way to spin this. This is
Gosh, what do we keep missing?
Drew McIntyre's career because Bobby Lashley could hold that title for a very, very, very long time. And for as long as he does, that's it.
MVP deserves a raise. I'll throw that out there as well.
Hell-
Representing the man this afternoon on the bump, and then making sure his man walked out of there as WWE champion still.
Hell in a Cell, man. Anything goes. You got to know that. You got to keep your head on the swivel. And I do remember, if y'all remember, a few months back, MVP offered his services to Drew McIntyre.
last year, he
offered his service.
And Drew McIntyre wanted none of it. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm trying to say is he offered his services free of charge.
Yeah.
That's a good. I don't think Kofi.
No, I don't think he's thinking about. I'm just thinking like all things being equal. I just want to say because I know we're getting close to wrapping up. Drew McIntyre does not make mistakes. The fact that he has made 2 against the same man in very similar circumstances and now with the ramifications, this is going to change Drew McIntyre. What that means, I don't know. But what we just saw is very, very, very big. Congrats to Bobby Lashley, but things change now. Things change now.
I don't know. We got a lot of interesting things coming up. SummerSlam is coming up. I don't know who can contend with the great Money in the Bank, the great Bobby Lashley. There's a lot of things going on right now, but the Almighty era is still going on. Hell in a Cell was amazing. Bianca showed out. Cesaro and Rollins showed out. Sami Zayn and KO showed out. It was an awesome night, guys. We had a lot of great guests. Yes. Shout out to Adam Cole, baby, for getting the hashtag trending all over the place.
And coming up this Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern on WWE's The Bump, Sonya Deville will be with us, and about a Hall of Famer, Devon Dudley, going to help us break down all things Hell in a Cell. I'm sure more is coming your way. We'll get to a lot with those great guests.
Yes, guys, thank you so much for joining us on WWE Watch Along. Evan T. Mac, Matt Camp, Ryan Popola, man. Appreciate everybody, man. Listen, Joe P, Ryan, Nash, everybody out there helping out with us, everything like that, man. I really appreciate y'all, man. Yeah.
We got a lot to go.
Peacock,
By the way,
baby, shout out
next
to
time we're
Colombo.
doing this, we'll be watching along with the fans who will be in attendance at Money in the Bank.
See you this Wednesday, 10 a.m. WWE's The Bump. Thanks, everybody.
Peacock!
Well, I guess that's it. And thanks for tuning in to the live stream. It was actually a lot of fun. And I hope to do this again soon. All right, guys, take care and have a good night.
Excuse me, sir. Could you spare some change? I need to wash my clothes for a very important job interview. I'm just trying to put a...
All right, you guys, take care and have a good night.
Besides, look at you.